Hello, this is your wise ass astrologer trying not to succumb to the grand trine in air this week, which is trying its hardest to turn me into a bloody lazy ass astrologer and doesn't want me to make a video at all because trines, as many astrologers know, are very harmonious because there are 120-degree angles between all three of the planets. But sometimes they're too harmonious and will make us not want to do anything at all. And when it's air, our minds can just keep going and going and going around in circles and drifting and flowing freely like the breeze, but not really going in any direction with any real purpose. So we're going to try to correct that today and actually move forward with some real purpose. Right now, one of the planets in the grand trine, the moon, is in Aquarius, being ruled by Saturn, also in Aquarius. The other planet in the grand trine, as we talked about last week, is Mercury in Libra, and the third planet is Mars in Gemini. And the Mercury in Libra trining the Mars in Gemini is very potent because it's not only trining it, it is ruling it. So it's trying to be nice and balanced and adaptable at the same time. And it's having somewhat of an easy time doing it, maybe too much of an easy time doing it, maybe without any real teeth. But Mercury will go retrograde this week. And many astrologers, at least the media, likes astrologers to talk about Mercury going retrograde. I don't know why this is. Out of all the interesting things in astrology, people like to latch on to Mercury going retrograde. Maybe because most people have no communication skills, because they keep their head glued to their phone all day instead of going out and talking to people. Don't look at me. All right, look at me. Yes, many people have communication problems in the world. I guess that's why they like to talk about Mercury going retrograde, because we can't communicate with our loved ones, our friends, our bosses, or the voices in our head, God, whoever, and we end up crying and screaming for a mother at 3 a.m. and want to talk to her or Goddess Superior or whoever. I don't know. I'm going off on a tangent. But regardless of all that drama, there's not too much drama with the moon in Aquarius. We don't like to have too much drama. We want to have rules and structure. So all that Leo energy we had with Venus being in Leo, which is now in Virgo, and the sun being in Leo before that, is sort of ebbing away. So when Mercury goes back into Virgo, we are going to want to perfect our communication style and be a bit more skilled with the way we deliver our words, as opposed to right now, which we are trying to do things one way and then we are trying to communicate things the other way. And that's why my video is full of edits, because I say things one way and I'm not quite sure if I like it that way. And then I try to say things the other way, and then I try to mash them together and find some balance point in editing, which hopefully will work today with the grand trine in air. We shall see. So the most important thing before Mercury goes retrograde is that we get this Mercury-Jupiter opposition right. So how are we going to do that? Because Jupiter is also retrograde and Mercury will soon follow suit. So we want to try to find some balance while Mercury is still going forward. And then we will reflect on how to improve our communication style. So when it goes back into Libra, it will be sweet and balanced and harmonious. So let's try to tackle some of the concepts that are staring at us right in the face and sort through them. So we have to utilize this air grand trine by updating a nice system of communication. And then reflect and be aware of the most direct meaning of our words and how to offset some of our most blunt opinions with a nice dialogue. This is a skill we can develop. We have to communicate with people that have different ideas than us and a different understanding of things. That will allow us to sort of be aware of the balance and how to broaden our minds and our visions and our ears, quite literally, as we open our brains up to the world around us. And the Jupiter in Aries is still ruling that Neptune in Pisces. So how can we navigate that? Well, we have to accept that we can be a bit hot-headed sometimes because we want to put forth our current ideas so we can develop new ideas and rethink our direction. But really it's about options right now. The right blend of things will allow us to visualize our future and see our ideas in a new way. The blend will come from the Mars in Gemini ruling the Jupiter in Aries. So that we really want to utilize that right now. And then as the moon goes into Pisces in a couple of days, it's about accepting and allowing ourselves to rearrange things in order to move forward. That will ultimately be very important in the next year. We are not changing our goals. We're not getting rid of dreams or acquiescing or accepting defeat that a lot of people like to associate Pisces with, especially when the Moon-Mars square happens in a few days. We might get a bit scattered with the Mars in Gemini and feel we just want to just sort of let it all go and succumb. But that's not important. It's all about restarting things and sort of changing things up and rearranging the order. So, like I said, we're not getting rid of our dreams or acquiescing and not accepting a defeatist attitude. Rather, we are accepting a rearrangement of our vision in order to propel our dreams forward. But, like I said, maybe in a different order. It's all about what's at the top and what's at the bottom. It doesn't really matter as long as it gets us off the ground and launches us and propels us to our stated goal. So with the Mercury going retrograde on Saturday, I believe, how do we utilize that energy? How do we utilize the mercurial energy that is still going forward? It still has a direct vibe in Libra, but then it will go back into Virgo before returning to Libra. So how do we do when we are in contemplation? Because with Jupiter retrograde and Mercury also retrograde, opposing Jupiter, it's all about contemplation. And it's okay not to be perfect. That's what Mercury in Virgo will eventually try to tell us. Virgo is all about honing our skills and improving ourselves and trying to be better. But it's okay not to be perfect. Sometimes we get too stressed out. With Mars in Gemini knows it's okay not to be perfect because sometimes we screw up and it works out because we end up being at another place, which is exactly where we are supposed to be at that time or at this time. Because Mars in Gemini is always about right here, right now. But with Mercury still in Libra at this moment, we need to compare and contrast our level of proficiency in different areas to find the right balance of skills we want to project going forward. And then, like I said, when it goes back into Virgo, we'll hone those skills and we'll realize we're not perfect, but it's a craft that we're working on. So when Mercury's in Virgo, we will develop that skill set, and then it will go back into Libra. And we will be able to balance our skill sets and have them play off each other in a way that's smoother and more crafted. It will seem seamless. It will seem like an easy harmony. But it's really because the Mercury in Virgo is asking us to hone our skills and work on our craft. So going forward, that easy balance that people will be impressed with, it's not really that easy. It's because we put the time in to work on it, and that will happen when Mercury goes retrograde in Virgo. It will help us sharpen things up a little bit. So going forward, we'll have a sweet balance of a finely tuned FM radio. That Venus in Virgo is finely tuning that Uranian disc jockey at 18 degrees Taurus, so it sends sweet shockwaves through the night air, over and over and over again, like Uranus and Taurus should, reaffirming our best dreams over and over and over again. And like I said before, peace, love, stars, and listen to the Beatles. This is your wise-ass astrologer saying good night.